It was a good weekend for us. We definitely didn't like losing that last game, obviously. Tough loss in extra innings, but the rest of the weekend was good. Also good, to lose this early in the season and be able to learn from our mistakes and kind of tailor our practices and what we're going for early on from here on out was a good thing, too.
And then just a quick preview of the games down in Tucson, more regional action, more West region and South Central region action. Just give us a quick preview of those games.
So a couple of teams we're playing haven't played any games yet. They're actually, I believe, one of them is playing today. And then, St. Mary's is obviously the one that we're looking forward to. They're always a tough regional opponent, and got some work to do and some hard work ahead of us in order to win that game. So. And
then practice this week. What's going to be the emphasis in practice this week after the 4-1 weekend?
As far as pitching goes, we're going to definitely work more towards executing our pitches, not missing so drastically, actually putting them on the same side of the plate that we want to, as well as keeping the velocity up. And then defensively, always being ready, always expecting the ball. And then offensively, we left 35 runners on in 5 games. So just coming up, ready to go and ready to take advantage of the situation at hand at that current time. So,
questions?
So Kaila, you kind of winced when he said 35 runners left on, and I know that's something this team really prides itself on. Is I've got somebody at second, I got to get him to third, or I got to get him home. What do you take into this week on executing things like that?
We got away with a lot in our first 4 games. We didn't have all these runners come in, but we were still winning by so many runs. Our first 4 games, we scored more than 6 runs and still left that many runners on base. Like, that shows a lot about how we are as a team, how much we care for what we're doing and trying to get those runs in. But we really saw it in that last game, and we're not taking advantage of those situations and not getting those runs in. It's going to come and hurt us in the end. So we just have to kind of step it up.
Different role for you this year?
A little bit. Yeah. Moving behind the plate, it's fun. I really like it. I feel like I have a little bit more of a leadership role. I get to kind of see everything that's going on, get to talk to the pitchers more often, kind of see where their heads are at, and it takes a lot more thought process and mental-wise into the game, but I'm enjoying it.
Starting off the season, a 14-1 game in 5 innings. Had to feel good to kind of start off with a punch like that. Was everything just working well in order to kind of start off the season strong with a big win?
It was. We still did leave a lot of runners on, but we came out with a lot of fire and desire, and you could tell, like, in the dugout there wasn't a moment where we were kind of letting go, and everybody was just had this adrenaline rush, and it just felt good to be back on the field.
Last season, that huge winning streak, unfortunately the weekend ended with a loss, but is there that kind of pressure, expectation, especially with the rankings as well, to try doing something like that again and kind of live up to last year's big record there?
As much as we love that winning streak, for us it's more of we want to get farther at the end of the season, having the great winning streak and everything, but not being able to capitalize at the end of the season is really what we're focusing on this year. And it's not about, we did this last year, so we have to do this year. We just want to get better as every day goes on.
And then this tournament, this weekend is the last one, tune up before RMAC play starts beginning again. Is there anything to address and things before you hit the conference play?
It's just one game at a time. We know a lot of our opponents in the RMAC, and we're going to go in playing every game as a big game. It doesn't matter who our opponent is. We're playing Maverick softball.
Erik, the pitching staff, you got everybody in. You got McKenzie, a couple innings to kind of get her back into it. What did you kind of see from the pitching staff other than a little consistency?
Yeah, we went into that game with the intent of pitching Kenzie if everything panned out and played out according to plan, which fortunately for us it did. Got her a couple innings of work. Would like to see more strikes on that end, but she did a great job. She's been working so hard to come back. I can sit back and be a coach about it or just sit back and look at it and say, you know, it's really good to see her back in the circle. It's definitely a different presence with her out there. It's definitely good to see that she's worked so hard and to actually give her that opportunity to get back into it and have something to work off of and have something game live type situation to be able to work from and to practice towards and, you know, keep that motivation there and keep that hard work going. So
Your two newbies look like they kind of figured some things out quick.
yeah, definitely two different personalities there. We had bases loaded for Paige, and she came in and she was definitely she shut them down, but she was having fun doing it. So definitely interesting personalities. Love having them though, and Shay coming in again, just needs to throw some strikes a little early on, nerves possibly, but she'll get another opportunity, especially this weekend against all the opponents we'll be facing. So we're looking forward to seeing her come out and pitch again and pitch well and pitch the same way they've been pitching during practices. They've been executing everything Coach Lovato's had them do. So we just want to get out there and play games because it's a lot of practice. It's been a lot of practice. It's been a lot of talk, been a lot of scouting, been a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. Now we just want to get out there, and I think the 14-1 was kind of our moment there where we were so ready to go that even though we left a bunch of runners on base, we definitely were excited to be out there, and it showed.
Kaila, I mean, you got 4 totally different pitchers to work with. It's first year, really a lot behind the plate, and what kind of, okay, now wait, this is pitcher 4, and I got to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've been practicing with them. I practiced a lot with them all in the fall. Even Kenzie not being able to do so much, we would always talk about what she could do, and we would work on all these pitches. And, we rotate through all the pitches, all of us catchers, and we talk about it every single day. We go, all right, what's working for you? And we'll talk about different situations that we want to be in, or what's your go-to? What are you thinking here? So, we're all kind of just combining into one brain, and it's really showing.
Just for Coach, over the weekend, what were some fundamentals that stood out to you, and what do you expect the strength of this team to be going forward?
So some fundamentals, I think, just playing catch and fielding the ball, we did a great job of that. As far as leadership goes, definitely we saw the leaders show up. Hitting wise, we were consistent, and then when the pressure got on, we fell off a little bit in certain situations. So I think the focus going forward is, again, like I said earlier, just always expecting the ball on defense no matter what, and then focusing on line drives using the middle of the field, and then as far as the getting deep into the count, making sure that we're not striking out, at least putting the ball in play. In situations like in St. George where the fields weren't optimal, the dirt was a little muddier, a lot of teams were kind of making some errors that probably wouldn't usually make, so putting the ball in play was really kind of the idea there, and I think that'll be the idea going forward, but with the stress on scoring with runners in scoring position. So
Jordan, a little bit excited when she got her first hit?
Oh yeah, it was funny actually. Afterwards, I said, congratulations on your first hit. That's really incredible. And I went to shake her hand, and she said, "No, Coach, I hit a ball to the third baseman." It's like, "No, Jordan, your first hit." She said, "Yeah, Coach, it was to the third baseman. But my second one was pretty good." And I was like, "Okay, Jordan." So she was dialed in. She was thinking, in terms of hitting the ball, and didn't really affect her during the game too much. But afterwards, we were all excited for her. Definitely, kind of that Grand Junction native coming to our team and having success in her first game and being able to hit a home run. I mean, I don't even think she got all of it, but it went very far. So she's a strong kid.
Yeah. I mean, 7 home runs from 7 different players. Gotta feel good, kind of knowing I can plug in almost whoever I need to here.
And that was the fun part about this weekend is when we did make changes or people did sub in, it was, people were ready to go. And these girls have been awesome at focusing and staying locked in during the games. And they have a job, they have a role, but they also stay ready to go. even in that cold weather that we were experiencing, the little bit of snow between games, they were still out there hitting on the tees, ready to go for whatever we asked of them. And we were, that's something that's an intangible you can't really coach. If you can't coach them wanting to be there, you can't coach the will to win. So it was really nice to be able to pick out anybody really on the bench, and they were ready to go, and it showed when they came in. They were ready to go. They hit line drives. I know Taya had a home run, and then she lined out really hard to the left fielder, but she's ready to go, and Lexi and pretty much down the line you could tell putting in substitutions was easy pickings because they were all locked in and ready to go.